Okay, I'm not gonna temper so much with overlays. We're just gonna go straight into the game. So, remember the names first of all. That's gonna be harder than expected. Let me just get up the list so we know who is who. I just found this on Reddit, so let us see. Mod's already doing work. The sound down a bit. There we go. Okay, yeah, spammers here. Twitch chat is amazing. So let's see. We have a lot of the same team from before. We have Freeze on Corki, as it seems like Ed went on Thresh. He's comfortable on that Thresh champion. He's been playing that a lot through Worlds as well.
30 seconds until
So I expect we can see some big plays here. We have an invade. Frog throwing out some stuff. Ed barely missing his hook on Sona. That would be an easy first blood. Sona being the squishiest target in the entire game. So we have Elite Killer, who's a secret top laner according to the Reddit post I'm looking at. Some evidence being released that it might be Candy Floss. Oh, credit to Candy Floss. J wow. Speed up to live. I thought we were live. Okay, let's just speed up all the way to live. Kill's already been taken out here. Already looking good for a super team. Playboy Hannah. Played by Shook, already taking out 2 kills. Also doing the first blood. Oh, it's day in the stream already. Froggen throwing in some big kills. And we see Shook jumping over the wall, going in for the 3rd kill. He's in getting fed early game. That's good for that guy already. Okay, never mind, don't. Yeah, people show the chat even with 10 viewers. No one cares about that. It's Twitch chat, it's amazing, that's what we're here for. Doing some pressure here, we see a lane swap all the way from the start. We didn't even get into that because my amazing moderator made me skip up to live already. So we have a Vayne and Sona top lane versus who I believe is JWoww on Renekton, going 1 versus 2. And our super team having Corki Thresh bot lane versus a Rumble doing fairly well compared to Renekton being 6 to 14 last hits. Although it is hard to call this early in the game. Vayne and Sona backing already. Just gonna call out champion names here. I don't know who they're playing against. It is, of course, just ranked 5v5 teams, so it's random players up against Edward throwing out a hook, but missing on that Rumble. Throwing back some poke, but really just freezing the lane, just right outside the tower. My bad. But super team already being at 7.5k to 5.5k, having a huge goal lead. Really Freeze just throwing out a lot of goal for the team, ganking all over the lanes, already taking a kill on Vayne, Gragas and Sona. Probably a double kill on top lane. We did not see that though. Because you make me skip to live. We missed all the good stuff, the first blood. Pushing up against tower down here. Rumble having a hard time. Playboy being so far ahead of this Jarvan. Just going in there. Freeze putting a lot of pressure on him counter jungling. Going for those wolves afterwards. Probably see him roaming towards mid lane. Throwing down a warded blue buff. Yeah, stop saying my bad. It's not okay to Raven. We see JWoww in some trouble up here, getting harassed down. Going back already, hoping to catch the next minion wave before they get it pushed up to tower. Vayne not being the best tower pusher in the entire game. Cannot push as fast as we see Edward and Freeze doing bot lane. Really putting a lot of pressure on that Rumble. Jarvan throwing down another ward up there, being pinged out by Playboy. Was a ping ward to clear it for the next blue buff, which will probably spawn around 8-minute mark. We do not know where he started because we skipped ahead to live. Yes, I'm gonna rule on that all game. Throwing down some huge poke JWoww under tower, popping those pots. Went for a Doran shield and a longsword and a Doran's blade, having a lot of sustain in the top lane compared to Rumble really only with that Doran shield, and also having 31 last hits to 14, doing quite well. Popping ultimate, going in, all with ignite. Dashing through, getting pulled back. Barrier has been popped. Using the Q for the heal, flashing out in the last second. Vayne and Zone has no chance of following up on that one. That was some great poke. Getting that back out. Not a kill for any of the teams. And just some amazing damage coming out here from Lee Sin. Having those 3 kills really helped him through. Getting those mobility boots, just roaming all over the map, counter jungling, and then putting down another kill on Sebex, the Grogis in mid lane. Putting Froggen up to a 100% CS lead at 60 CS to 31 CS. Really just pulling far ahead on that Ahri, which is going to be crucial for the super team here. Already being so far ahead on some good early game champions, pushing the lead even further by going for this dragon already. Froggen's gonna be quite satisfied with that early kill and that extra farm, going for the double door entering for some good laning potential. And I bet we'll see him roam around now. Going for some double kills, helping out JWoww sitting up there in top lane. Going for the tower. They actually got this first. Even though I said that Corki and Thresh would have some more pushing potential. We see Vayne and Sona taking down the top tower before we actually see Freeze and Edward doing it. JWoww just staying top there for the extra farm. We haven't seen the bot tower drop yet. So Sona and Vayne are swapping back down to bot lane probably now to get that extra tower. Of course, the super team having their AD carry and support in the bot lane gave them that dragon advantage, and just the Lee Sin being so far ahead, they could just go for that dragon for free. JWoww putting down some good damage on that tower. Even though he got pressured back, he's still firing the game. Edward DCing! Oh man, the Russian internet is not on his side right now. Pushing up here. It is still Grogis, he's still really good against Ahri, but this is Froggen with the lead. We know how good he is at exploiting that, already being in that 71 last hits on Ahri, which is a really, really major CS lead. Being 20 CS up already. Jarvan just trying to protect against JWoww. Whilst they're swapping back, Rumble going top lane, Sona and Vayne going bot. Yeah, 4 versus 5, it's fair. Edward coming back! Even with a DC, that 4-0 didn't give them much of a lead on Edward being DC'd. And to be honest, I'm not sure. I don't think the enemy team knew that Edward was even DC'd there. Of course, they would have noticed him missing. We see Lee Sin coming in bot lane, using the dragon kick on Sona, dropping her down altogether. Vayne putting down some mean damage on Corki, burning barrier, throwing in some ultimate poke. Red buff just slowing that Vayne down, and she decides to turn around. We're still gonna go with champion names here. I'm not certain about all the player names and what they're playing. Froggen using ultimate in that mid lane. Oh, Lee Sin going in for Vayne. Corki popping that Gatling gun. That's surely gonna be a kill for nothing down here. Kill on Corki, which is really good for that early game. Already putting down a Sheen, going back for a Phage soon. Edward pulling down the jungler to safety while Jarvan is roaming down there trying to protect it. Dropping bot turret. Hopefully going for that mid turret now to extend Froggen's lead in there. Being at 90 CS, we know how much Froggen loves to farm. 64 to 92 CS already. He's not even leaving that lane, even though Ahri is so good at roaming. He's staying in that mid lane, getting the farm up, and gonna get some tons of damage with that Fiendish Codex. Probably, as we see a lot of Ahris go these days, going for that Deathfire Grasp. So you can take down Vayne before she can do anything in teamfight and not allow her to get fed. Renekton putting down some mean damage. Renekton is such a bully in lane, getting that Fury stack above 50%. Shook coming up here to help out JWoww. Rumble ultimate being popped down. The dash is going to be enough for the stun. Red buff's being put down. He's not going to get away from this one. Renekton and Lee Sin with red buff. It's just too much slow for him to get away. Running a 0-1, 0-2, 0-2, 0-2 on the enemy team. All died except for Jarvan. See some really, really good roaming with those mobility boots on Lee Sin. Seeing just how much of a threat he is, even without any damage items. He can still run around, taking down targets, no problem. Going in there to counter jungle. Oh, just barely dodging it with Safeguard. the belly flop from Gragas, trying to slow him out to get girlfriend Kiki's out of there. Froggen going for that mid tower, missing his charm, putting down some harass. Using ultimate to get out of there. Jungler and mid versus jungler and mid in here. Froggen going in there, missing his Q. Oh, barely dodges the ultimate. Throwing down the ignite, and he's dead surely by that Jarvan ultimate. Lee Sin chasing after Gragas here, but Corki picks it up. No problem. Edward being in behind, Jarvan to CC. Throwing out the hook, doesn't hit. Flash being popped, chased by 4 people. Not sure if that was worth. Sona's coming in here with a ward trying to get him out. It's not going to be enough. The Q being land here, and Corki with the Sheen and Phage. You cannot escape that helicopter. Shook going in there, going for that red buff already. Having it pinged for quite a while, taking it for free as the enemy team has just backed all over. Freeze putting down some pressure in mid lane, Corgi trying to defend it. Corgi Rumble trying to defend it, Corgi's trying to kill it, of course. Froggen coming back here with the Deathfire Grasp already. And that ultimate Deathfire Grasp from Ahri, that combo is just so strong, can pick out almost any target in the enemy team. Let's see if Gragas' Drunken Rage can be enough to keep him alive with the damage reduction. Froggen throwing out some Qs. Just missing all the targets, the skill shots, hitting the charm, popping the Q, just throwing out some good harass, taking him to about 50% HP. They're not going for the kill here by the looks of it. They're just pushing it up and trying to scare them off while they're going for a free tower. Throwing out some ping wards, trying to keep them out of their base, not letting Shook get behind. Oh, Edward flashing him with the hook, catching out Sona. Lee Sin going in. Ultimate being popped out for the slow, and we have Lee Sin in deep, being pulled out by Thresh Lantern. RQ going in to pick up Jarvan, and Lee Sin Q picking up that Sona. That's what we like to see, this aggressive playstyle. It's 14 minutes in. They are, of course, far, far ahead with that 11-1, 25,000, 9,000 gold lead ahead. But this is just such an aggressive playstyle, using those mobility boots on Lee Sin, going for that Giant's build already, as we see many of the pro players go for a bit of more tanky build, so he won't fall off on the damage later on. But that pressure he can put out is just amazing, being in a 6-0 lead. Corki already picking up their Triforce and those Sorg boots, gonna be able to pick out some good poke as well as a huge burst in team fights. Renekton being their only real tanky guy in this team, along with Lee Sin following up with what, by the looks of it, he's going for a Sunfire Cape. Renekton having no problem tanking these towers by now. They can surely just go in there and take out that mid tower. Don't show me Rumble farming. Edward looking out there for a hook. Froggen hiding in there with his Deathfire Grasp. One hook on any target, and Froggen should be able to pick it out alongside with Corki Burst. Hook being pulled out, Vayne just tumbles away to safety. Oh, the insect play, going in there to throw out Sona, being obliterated by REQ. Picking out even more as Vayne also goes down to Corki Burst with that Triforce and Sorg boots, being amazing. JWoww being thrown in there by Gragas' ultimate and Playboy Hannah. That name, Shook, just being in there waiting. He can surely just jump out to any ward or just Edward or Lantern. The hook going out, Corki throwing out some huge damage. Those sorcerer boots. Trinity Force giving him a huge lead on that. 200% extra damage after popping his ultimate. Throwing out some amazing poke. And what we see here is just Shook just jumping from target to target, slowing them down, while Corki can just walk around, picking up those easy kills, being at a 4-0 now. That Triforce, Phage giving him that movement speed so no one can get away from him. And they just extended to a 10,000 exact goal lead, 14-2. This game is surely over. We would need a miracle for the purple team to turn this one around. Let's just organize it down here so it looks a bit more professional. Let's get the supports to the bottom. No one cares about you. There we go. Grog is following quite well. To be honest, they're all following quite well, except for Rumble in that CS. 128 to 103 is not too bad for Groggers, but they have been under tower for a long time, and those barrels are so good at clearing out those minion waves, making it hard for blue team to really go in there with minions and then just poke down the towers. As we saw before, they don't really care about it. We just see Shook diving in with those Qs and using the insect play to throw them back out into the team. Froggen picking them off with Deathfire Grasp. They don't need the minions, so they can just go in there and pick up easy kills. Necton looking for an easy stun. Not gonna happen. Look at that amazing Corki damage with the Q. Edward just barely missing hook. Sona escaping. Just barely this time as well. There goes their tire free turret down, going for that inhibitor. Barrels not even damaging JWoww up here. The charm going out, just barely missing Jarvan, who's just laughing in there. This is surely GG. Extending, still keeping that 10k gold lead. Really Shook just going out, clearing out their buffs, clearing the jungle, not making sure they can have any chance of getting back in this game. Clearing all the minions, pushing up all the lanes so they can go for whatever they want to. When it's over, you'll be able to show us the first blood. Yeah, I can do that. Just to shove it in the Raven's face. We know he didn't want to see that first blood. Shook throwing out some amazing damage. Still went for that damage. Using his ultimate to kick away Jarvan since the entire team just stacked up upon him. Being at 7-0, that's not a score you want to lose. You want to keep that KDA. The hook going out. Missing Vayne. Edward not. Oh, the Deathfire Grasp just picks up Vayne. Rumble ultimate. Plays quite nicely, slowing down the entire team. Corking using that Phage proc from his Trinity to follow up, but not being able to have enough damage. Grog is throwing out some barrels, actually pushing out the blue team. That's what we said before, they still have the farm, they still have some damage, and they have amazing minion clears, so blue team is going to have a hard time just poking down those turrets, trying to go for the dive, which is really hard for a peeling team, throwing down Rumble ultimate, Gragas ultimate, and of course Crescendo to just keep the blue team out of the base. We don't want you in here. Oh, the charm going out, just missing Gragas. The entire team being ready to go in there. Shooks with his Q to make an insect play, get him out. Jarvan throwing down the ultimate on 3 people. Immediately getting obliterated. Rumble being dragged into the Jarvan ultimate. Picking up some more kills. We see JWoww being picked off by Rumble here. Vayne just chasing down Rumble, being out of mana. Barrier pop from both teams. But Vayne having the mana lead tumbles in, surely for the kill. Oh, the Sheen proc, just barely. He just got the extra rocket, able to proc the Sheen and finish off Vayne as well. The hook completely misses. Not even sure that was a blind one. Playing with the fire here, Froggen ulting into melee range of a Gragas, picking him off, surely with the Charm Q and Deathfire Grasp. Close indeed, picking up the blue buff to render the enemy team even, whereas the surrender vote being called out. Let's go to the first blood. Let's see. We know it's Shook. Shook will pick up this first blood. Oh, that was a 2 kill in the top. This must have been, let's see, up here. It must be around here, yeah. So we see JWoww being pushed up under the turret like you want to do in a 1 versus 2 lane. Not having it warded because Shook coming from the lane. Don't show me Froggen. Going in there, baiting a bit, missing the Q actually, throwing down the E slow along with the red buff, just slowing down way too much. Barrier being popped out. Oh, the Condemned just barely throwing JWoww into the wall, so he's able to just walk away from that one. I would say thank you for saving me right there, the slow being too much, and Playboy Hannah aka Shook just picking up that kill. All in all, a great game, and GG calls have been called out. Let's see if they're gonna play another game. We're gonna play some music and talk a bit about this game while we're